Do I have everybody's attention now?
This is it, Josh! This is it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestlePoint. We are doing kind of a daily afternoon edition of WrestlePoint. We're usually here late at night after SmackDown, but we are here to discuss all the breaking news that really happened last night, and then we're going to do a little bit of fantasy booking later in the show. But we are going to start out with, I think it was the 18 wrestlers that got released yesterday, which is quite ridiculous.
Yeah,
unexpected too, to be honest.
Let's start with, I'm going to read the names off the list, and you guys can tell me who you're most surprised by being released. I think we all have an idea of who's the most surprising, but
yeah.
All right, I'm just reading from top to bottom where I have B-Fab from Hit Row, Ember Moon, Eva Marie, Frankie Monette, Graham Metalik, Harry Smith, Jet Rama, Jesse Kamea, Karrion Kross, Katrina Cortez, Keithley, Lindsay Dorado, Mia Yim, Nia Jax, Oni Lorcan, Scarlett, Trey Baxter, and Zaida Ramira.
Wait, I need to look up one.
I mean, can we just start off with the obvious one?
Keithley. It's a big
I mean,
okay.
yeah. Go ahead. Just start us off.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are actually two that surprised me a lot, and one of them is. So I'll start with an obvious one, Keithley. They just repackaged the guy, and it looked like they were setting him up for a pretty decent push on Raw, and they kept him on Raw, which they still consider their flagship show. So I thought all signs were pointing to, Bearcat Lee was his new name. All signs were kind of pointing to Bearcat Lee becoming a force on Raw, so that was extremely surprising to me. I mean, that had to be like, I almost think that had to be almost mutual. Like we would have read something about it by now, so maybe not. But I feel like he had to have hinted that he wanted to be released. Because why else do you put all that effort into repackaging him? Just release.
Yeah. But then again, go ahead, Cody.
You can. I was just gonna say it's like kind of like Frankie Monette is. She just challenged for the NXT Women's Championship like last month.
Yeah,
That's John Morrison's wife.
Yeah, it is. Yes. And I'm surprised they didn't release John Morrison, if being honest. They're doing nothing with him as of late. But
poor guy, dude.
So Keithley was very surprising to me because we were talking about like fantasy booking scenarios, and I volunteered to wrestle the WrestleMania card, like a future one. And one of my big matches is going to be Big E versus Keithley for the WWE Championship, because I thought that's where they're heading. He's crushing everybody. He wasn't on Raw last week, so I guess we should have expected something was up. But just shocking. Like, some of these names are like very shocking. Like, even though we know my dislike for Nia Jax,
that was my second. That was my second one. That was surprising to me too.
She is a for real hatred of mine, but I don't want anybody to lose. I don't want anybody to lose their job that way. But I guess she her vaccination status was very
is that what it was?
Big deal.
Not that she's a terrible wrestler and hurts people.
I don't think they care about that.
Yeah, they don't care about that.
So I was reading something that Nia Jax, she asked for time off for like mentally, and then she asked, they had her coming back in like a week or so, and then she asked for 2 more weeks, and then she never heard back, and then the next thing she heard that she was released.
So can we say with Nia Jax and Eva Marie getting released, is Shayna Baszler like the ultimate babyface now? That like storyline she injured them
ended their WWE career if they don't come back.
What a fucking babyface Shayna Baszler is in my eyes right now.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
No.
That would have been crazy if they.
That would have been really funny, but other than that, I think so. B-Fab, she's obviously, we can all agree she's terrible. She's
the biggest surprise to me.
She's an awful wrestler. But she's decent. She's decent on the mic. Yeah. And Hit Row did just get called up. So that was another one that was a bit shocking to me, especially because they got drafted to SmackDown, right, Hit Row?
Yes.
The off the top of my head is there's not much depth in that women's division outside of Charlotte, Sasha, and Shayna Baszler, right?
They called up some NXT
Shotzi Blackheart now.
Oh,
Blackheart is
yeah, that's right, Shotzi.
and what's the name? The other.
And did they get Xia Li?
Xia Li's there. Xia Li is there.
Okay, so
Yes,
maybe it's not as maybe that division's not as shallow as I thought. But yeah,
It's not
did
shallow.
split.
It's just
It's pretty shallow. It's pretty shallow
It's
after
not
that.
Yeah,
shallow.
okay, but still, BFAB, even though she's terrible wrestler, I was shocked.
Okay, yeah, BFAB for me was the biggest surprise, mainly because Karrion Kross, they were not going anywhere with him.
That was almost merciful to me.
Yeah.
Mercifully let him
Same
go.
with Keithley. I think Keithley. Yeah, you can say, oh, they were trying to turn a new direction, but building him up. The way they were building him up was not a way that WWE usually builds him up. Because when WWE usually builds him up, somebody up, it's in our face, right? Sometimes we're like, oh yeah, Keith Lee was on the show. Like, we have to remind ourselves that he was on the show. We shouldn't have to remind ourselves. It should be in our face 24/7 if he really is the guy WWE wants to push to the moon, which doesn't seem like it. In my opinion, I don't know. There's a lot of things happening with Keith Lee over the year, mentally, like
health wise.
So I really feel for the guy, but I feel like he's the kind of guy who can just recover rather quickly.
Yeah, and that.
Especially in the wrestling.
Oh, I was gonna say Keith Lee. I think so. This is another thing. This is another thing that we were gonna talk about, but I think Keith Lee is gonna land on his feet really quick because I think so. Obviously, I think multiple of these 18 people are gonna end up in AEW, at least like 2 or 3. I think Keith Lee's got to be the first one to go after. Yeah, first of all, he's a huge name, and he falls into exactly the type of WWE cast-off that AEW loves to sign, a cast-off that the fans were angry with WWE for not using them as much, so they pick them up so that they can use them and give the fans what they want. That's exactly what AEW wants in a WWE cast-off. That's what he is. But then also the way he wrestles, he's an AEW style. I said this, I might have said like over a month ago, I said that his wrestling style is a lot better fit for, first of all, just an AEW style match and just for the AEW fans. I think just the way he wrestles, he'll get over way more in AEW than he would in WWE.
I actually thought of this, like, who would be the number one person I think AEW would sign? Keith Lee was number 2 on that list for me. Number 1 has to be Ember Moon. Yeah, their women's division is shot.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, if they get Keith Lee, I think they'll definitely get Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I think AEW would.
Frankie Monet is there too.
I was about to say. I think if AEW can get Ember Moon, Frankie Monet, and Mia Yim, then that's just beats up the women's division.
I wanna like slow the roll on like AEW getting all of these released women, because Impact, their women's roster is booming too. And
if Frankie Monet came to WWE from Impact, she could
exactly. I honestly, maybe I see a high likelihood of her joining back to Impact.
Yeah,
and I honestly would expect Mia Yim to do the same.
And she was the so obviously in Impact she was Taya Valkyrie. She was the women's champion for a period of time, right?
A long time, yeah. She was a good amount. Yeah, she was the head woman of that division. So her coming back is something I expect to be happening.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, because you like this guy. Where do you think AEW takes a stab at Karrion Kross?
That's hard to say. I if I had to go on top of my head, I said no.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason is AEW prefaces, they can't just take every WWE guy. You know, as much as they say, oh, Buddy Murphy, they know he's talented, and he's talented.
Yeah.
They can't just, there's sometimes just not room for,
of course.
There's just not room. You have to only take the top of the top. That's why they take Daniel Bryan. And I will say this, if I were AEW, because WWE should have done this, to take Keith Lee, put him in the main event right away. Because the guy's credible, he's over, he knows how to wrestle.
He was a Triple H. He was a Triple H guy. I think Triple H was really behind Keith Lee. The problem as always was Vince McMahon. If you remember earlier this year, Vince McMahon sent him back to the Performance Center.
Which is
he came to Keith Lee when he debuted on the main roster. It looked like they were going to push him straight to the main event, and then all of a sudden, straight to the main event. All of a sudden, Vince puts him back in the Performance Center, and he's not there.
look at the Survivor Series 2019. That was a coming out party for Keithley, no matter what. Then he Royal Rumble face off with Brock Lesnar. That was a moment. Like that's one of the biggest moments I remember from Royal Rumble. Like if I remember, okay, like should be foreshadowing something. This was that moment, and it never panned out. And it's just. Then again, it's really hard to say and to blame WWE because there were so many problems with Keithley's health. I don't think WWE, wished him upon that.
Yeah, and they're obviously WWE has a history of being a lot stricter with their like medical clearances.
Yeah.
Like how many years was Daniel Bryan off TV with concussions?
And now he's getting thrown around the ring.
Same with Christian, I think.
Mm-hmm. There was somebody I can't remember the name. Maybe it was Christian, but somebody that WWE would not clear medically, so he left, and then just immediately started working on the Indies and has been fine. I cannot remember who it is.
Was it Pac? Was it Pac?
No,
Pac just didn't want to be. Pac just didn't want to be there.
He didn't want to be there, and he wanted to ask to be released, and W was like, "No, we're gonna hold you hostage."
Yeah,
for
they froze his contract.
Yeah, so like, I actually read something that's funny. I read this like probably 30 minutes before we went live, and it was last year, 2019. The TakeOver main event was Keithley versus Karrion Kross. The next night, SummerSlam main event was The Fiend versus Braun Strowman. Both of them, all of them are no longer in the company. I'm still surprised they haven't tried this.
And then also, that TakeOver main event.
What? Yeah, TakeOver.
My connection's getting a bit bad. I was saying. So that TakeOver main event, you said, it was Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee, but then even before today, 2 months ago, we get a match on Raw, like a 5-minute Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross match where Keith Lee does a job in his hometown.
Yeah, in his hometown. That's what WWE loves to do.
I love it.
A little cherry on top, like he lost, especially.
Actually, wait. Was that Karrion Kross or was that Bobby Lashley?
What?
That was Karrion Kross. I remember
Karrion Kross. Okay.
I don't remember Bobby in
because Karrion Kross had an open challenge and he called.
Okay. And then, so I want to go back to Karrion Kross for a sec because I agree with you, Dom. I don't think AEW should go after him for the reasons that I was talking about why they should go after Keith Lee. I don't think Karrion Kross's style fits. Plus, also, I look at his character before he went to the main roster and he was wearing the fucking straps and the mask and all that dumb shit.
Oh
but I look at his character in NXT and there's the presentation of him, and I think Lance Archer, who they already have.
I would disagree. I would think more Malachi Black.
But still, but a guy they have. And obviously, so like if wherever Karrion Kross goes, they have to bring Scarlett. They have to bring Scarlett. That has to be the act.
It's probably Impact.
Well, they're married, right? Or like engaged.
Yeah, they're engaged.
Scarlett's pregnant, right?
Even if they weren't, like that's the act. That's Scarlett is what got Karrion Kross over in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I honestly like Karrion Kross. I'm sad he lost his job, but like I had no interest in him whatsoever. Even in NXT, I'm a huge NXT guy, and like
I love this presentation at NXT.
He did not interest me at all. He just was very boring.
NXT Karrion Kross was awesome, and then
NXT Karrion Kross was cool. I was a fan of his on.
Well, NXT was there to me. Like there was like the old NXT where like we had like everybody there. That was prime wrestling for me. Like you could not miss a takeover because all the takeovers, every single match would be great. So it's a little disheartening. I guess now I read a report that tonight on SmackDown in the dark match, Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano are both there. So two guys that's contract expire in a couple months. So.
No, I feel how you feel, Cody, because the way you feel about NXT and like when everybody was there, that's how I feel about like 2017, 2018, end of 2019, New Japan. Like that's when New Japan was like really big and every show was crazy and Okada was just having a great run. So I know how you feel. Then again, like I said before the show, I don't want to wish anybody getting released because that's their job. That's how they make money. That's important. Even though they're probably gonna find another way to make money, that's probably the best way to make money as a pro wrestler. WWE contract.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here, and but I'm just surprised some of the people who weren't released, some of the 24/7 people, not Reggie or R-Truth, or Tozawa, but like
yeah,
Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick can leave.
Didn't he get released at one point and they signed him back?
Yeah, they signed him right
Yeah,
back
they signed him immediately.
because he did some story or a Twitter campaign or some shit like
Mhm.
that. And then
Okay.
another person who I see escaped the Grim Reaper again is Dana Brooke. Like, wow, Dana Brooke. I give you she's I feel like
When's the last time she was on TV?
She was in the Queen's Crown tournament.
Yeah, she wasn't the Queen's Crown too.
Lost
Oh,
to
she
Shayna.
was. Oh yeah, she was.
Like I feel like she's like I thought Nia was gonna be a lifer and never get released. Like that's how. But it's Dana Brooke is creeping up to the R-Truth status because R-Truth, whatever he does, he's not gonna get released because R-Truth is R-Truth.
Well, at least the fans like R-Truth. The fans don't give
R-Truth
a
is-
shit
yeah.
about Dana Brooke.
Yeah, that's true. R-Truth can do no wrong in my eyes. Let's be honest.
Dana Brooke must have something on Vince. And the thing that's
know.
like so disheartening about all this is that like 2 hours or like an hour before everybody started getting released, they had their quarterly call where they're like, "Oh, we're making this much money," and then they release people like an hour later.
And that's the thing that I was going to want to talk about at some point. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Is how is this the third or fourth round of releases just this year?
I don't remember.
I thought it was I think it's a third.
It's either the third or the fourth.
Because they had a big one. They had a big one.
Yeah, so 3 this year, and then
yeah.
But then during the pandemic era, I think this is the fifth, maybe the sixth.
Yeah, they always have one
Because they've been
spring.
releasing. It's getting goddamn ridiculous. Like they're already a hard outside of like the product. Just thinking about the actual business side of WWE, they're already a very hard company to root for because of all of the reports of what just kind of generally bad people they are. Like the brass, not the wrestlers, but the brass.
Yeah.
And we're at the point now where they're always say what you want about the product, and we certainly say what we want about the product and it being terrible. But they report record profits or close to record profits every quarter, every year, and here they are releasing. At this point, since the beginning of the pandemic, they have to be hovering around like 60, 75 talent releases, like just wrestlers, not even like the people in like fucking marketing that they fire, but just like the wrestlers that are gonna have a harder time latching on, especially during a pandemic because so many promotions had to shut down because of social distancing. It's just ridiculous, and it's making them the Wrestling Observer newsletter has it's either the newsletter or it's either the Observer or Pro Wrestling Insider. I think it's the Observer gives out their year-end awards every year. And one of their awards is most disgusting promotional tactic. And last year it was mass talent releases during a pandemic. And at this rate, I'm sure they're gonna repeat.
Well, yeah, that's a thing they can surely win. I'm not sure if it's like Vince is like, oh, we had great numbers this week, so we're fine with. Like, I guess like from what I read that like Raw doubled in viewership of what Dynamite did this week. So like, I mean, like, does Vince get a little too cocky? Like he's like, oh, we can do this without all these people that I have on my payroll and they don't do anything.
Well, I don't think it's that. Like, think of it like it's a business sense. Like, you run a business and you have so many employees. Some of the employees you don't need anymore, and you're always constantly building new employees, pro wrestlers in the NXT Performance Center. Sometimes you just don't need them, and sometimes it's like, well, I can have this person take this spot, but eventually they're gonna go now. Maybe it's more profitable to release them now before I sign them for another contract or don't re-sign them. Like, end of the day, there's only so many spots in a 3 hours, even in a 3 hour show.
I get that, but it's WWE's fault for hoarding talent for all these years, anyways.
But that's their tactic. That's how they. I
mean, but I think that time's over because now the people, when you go to sign a contract in WWE, if you're already an established star, you're gonna be like, okay, like how are you gonna promise me I'm not gonna end up like all these guys that just got released?
I mean that's the reason some of the people are like, hey, AEW, look at them. Like, it's not like AEW doesn't release people. I feel like it sure does, but if I feel like they let their contract run down. I feel like they do it more gracefully.
Yeah, and that's we briefly talked about this a couple of months ago when I said if I was an up and comer in the business and I had 2 contracts in front of me, one for AEW, one for WWE, I'm taking the AEW, and this is coming from me.
It depends on what stage of your career you're
trash, but I'd be a lot more inclined. I won't say I would like 100%, but I'll say I'd feel a lot more initially inclined to go to AEW for almost for the sole reason of just the culture of backstage. Like you can tell, even when they're doing even when AEW is doing a bunch of horseshit nonsense and having their number one contender dress up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, they're having
that was funny. Shut up.
They're having fun. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is they're having fun, and backstage they're having fun.
Yeah, I would agree. If I'm like, so I have a WWE and AEW contract sitting in front of me. If I'm an up and coming wrestler, I'm definitely picking AEW. But if I'm already an established superstar, like say like an AJ Styles, there's no way I'm picking the AEW contract.
No, I would say if I'm like ground zero, you know how like WWE like to pick like athletes?
Yeah.
WWE, because NXT for a couple months.
Depends how big you are. If you're like huge, then I mean.
No, but you would be on NXT TV though.
Yeah.
At least once or twice. The AEW, you would be probably on Dark, like 1,000 people watching you on YouTube, or like it's not 1,000. It's like it's more than that. It's like
it depends. It depends if like they stack the card like they did a couple weeks ago because SmackDown.
That's true. But and then Rampage maybe at most, you know. But like it depends on what phase in career you are. A lot of people have wrestlers have different priority. Some people care about more for the money, which is understandable because money is the key and tool to get things that you like and enjoy in life. And some people directly enjoy the pro wrestling side of having creative freedom, having matches with guys. They value more workspace environments, a good workspace environment. So it depends on who prioritizes. I don't like saying like, oh, this guy should sign here, because at the end of the day, the pro wrestlers have different
it's a different story for everybody.
Exactly. They have different priorities on what they wanna get out of pro wrestling.
Like I don't think it's an exaggeration when I say Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson was probably one of the best treated WWE superstars in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
And he still left because he just wanted something new. He wanted something different.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly understandable. Then there's some people like Bray Wyatt that got released unceremoniously, but I think it's going to do him good in the long run because whatever company he goes to, he's going to have more control on what he can do.
Exactly.
So that's just my.
All right. Anything else we want to say about this topic before we move
on the releases? I think I'm thinking through my head about the list, and there's no one
curious.
really else.
I'm curious on Hit Row. I want to
talk about
how that's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about the Hit Row. I think they released her because they just want to make it a men's stable. That's why I think it's gonna, because there would no other sense. Like, what's the other sense of doing that?
So managers are very foreign nowadays to WWE. You get Paul, like other than Paul Heyman, who's like.
Yeah, Leo Rush was managing
MVP
last week for a little bit. MVP
right now. I'm talking about like right now.
Oh, right now.
MVP. I mean,
there's more managers in AEW than WWE.
Yeah. So like, and then especially like if you have an active performer that you want to like grow in the ring, the only way like you could have a feud with Hit Row altogether, and if there's another stable and there's another girl in it, maybe like the Bloodline. With if Naomi joined, but like I just don't think she fit well with. I Hit Row, obviously she fit well with the group, but in a wrestling standpoint, I don't think she was very much of a great fit.
I'm curious on how they're gonna do it creatively. How they're gonna write her off, like, oh, she got hit by the bus, or like what happened?
They just won't mention it. That's how they do.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they released her because they don't really have a plan for it. I think they probably have a plan for Swerve Scott because he's a star, but I don't think they have a plan for the group.
And I also think it was easier for them to release her knowing that there's 2 out of 3 people. I don't really know the Shanti guy. I really don't know much about him, but 2 out of the 3 people can talk on the mic. Top Dollar is really good on the mic.
Yeah, I feel like I read something a couple of weeks ago, and it was a really short thing, so I don't remember it exactly, but it was something, it alluded to something like they have plans at some point in the fairly near future to give Top Dollar some sort of mega push.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
Well, I did read something while he was talking about Roman Reigns, and they're like, people trash on like people doing the job for Roman Reigns. He's like, I'd be happy to do the job for Roman Reigns. So like,
I would too.
Let's be honest. I can see Swerve Scott easily going into the mid card title, and he would just be great because Swerve is a star, like Eric said.
He is a mid card star. I'll say that.
He could be more than that. If
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm very high on Swerve Scott.
I don't know about any higher than. I can see him like have a feud, but not win the big one. And at least it's for me. Maybe in a couple of years.
He's on SmackDown, obviously. No one's being Roman. If Swerve Scott's the one to be
not even because Roman's still, just in general. That's all I had to say, though.
Yeah. So I think is that do it for us on the releases?
Yeah.
All right, so this next segment is going to be very interesting. So we're going to be doing another edition of fantasy booking, except this time the difference is so we're not necessarily building our perfect tag team. We're we're doing a package of tag, like what are the categories again, Cody? Do you have them in front of you?
Yeah, I'll grab them. Sorry. I just had right here.
It's booking 3 tag.
So this is a tag team draft. So we're picking our favorite or best tag team match, and I'll just say it right here. We vote on these at the end. If you've never seen the tag team match, like you're just like, oh, from 1935.
And don't even pretend like that comment wasn't directed at me. You're not talking.
No. I'm also saying for myself, if like I've heard like, oh my god, that was such a good tag team match, but I've never seen it. I'm not gonna pick it.
Just matches we've seen with our own 2 eyes.
Best tag team, best entrance of a tag team, and then I would say promo skills of a tag team, like we do wrestler like.
Okay, so entrance, promo,
and then a storyline. So this is going to be a really difficult one, I think. And
so there's only 5 categories this time around?
Yeah.
So we have entrance, promo, storyline. What else?
Tag team and match.
Okay.
And we'll do like we usually do here at WrestlePoint.
Can I ask a quick question about one of these? So like if for storyline, if I were to choose like, the New Day versus the Usos storyline, I can't pick them I can't pick New Day for promo then. Is that
I would say no. I would say no.
It changes everything for.
Is that different? We can vote on it because like storylines, like there's only so many to choose from. So like, and
really great tag teams are going to be in really great storylines.
Yeah. So we can change.
I'm fine with it. However you guys want to do it, I'm fine with it.
What do you guys want? What do you pick? You can pick.
Say again the options. I was waiting.
So like if I were to pick my storyline was like New Day versus Usos.
Okay.
Can I
not pick like New Day for promo skills?
I don't think you should. Because that's how we did it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Dom, do you have a wheel or do you want me to do a wheel?
Go ahead.
I know.
While we get a wheel, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah. While we get the wheel ready, I was gonna say this is gonna be interesting because none of us knew that we were gonna do this until probably 5 minutes before we started filming. So we're all this is all just kind of grab bag. We're pulling this completely out of our ass.
Yep. I was hoping to do so. We'll film tomorrow, obviously, our SmackDown review and stuff. But and then. Oh, actually, no, we'll do it tomorrow because we do a little bit of SmackDown positives and negatives. And then
we'll also do, since we're not doing Dynamite today, I'm high as Dynamite as well.
Yeah, and then we'll do our dream matchups, dream fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what that is so the next fantasy booking is going to be, we are each going to be creating our own dream pay-per-view card. So I don't have the list in front of me. We're going to pick, 5 or 6 matches. What's our dream opener? We're going to book a women's match. It doesn't have to be a title match necessarily, but it probably will be a mid-card title match. a tag team match in a main event.
What
So
That's what we're doing tomorrow, Dom.
Yeah, that's the fantasy for tomorrow.
Where's the fantasy for tomorrow?
The create our like fantasy pay-per-view card.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here's the wheel. It's gonna land on me. I know it is first. Always lands on me first when I do it. Dom.
Oh boy. Oh
Let
boy.
me. I'm down for second.
This is funny. I've been in a different
man.
position each.
Eric second. Dom, Eric, me.
Give me 1 second. I'm double checking a source real quick.
Dom looking at sources.
I mean, like, do you like in this draft? It's so weird. Do you pick a storyline first?
Maybe.
Do you like? Because
I don't know. This one's hard. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pick my entrance first because.
Can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
If for entrance, so obviously we're including music, right?
Yeah.
Would we get in copyright trouble if, like, instead of saying it, we play the music?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Damn it. Okay, so
The thing with
Dom can sing it for all of us every single.
I can. I'll be quiet. God. Okay. Because I need to look up my match because I know somewhat the match, but you guys should have heard of it. But it might be coming around. The tag team in general, there's a lot of options. Entrances, I'm gonna go ahead and pick. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember what it's.
Were you about to do Jericho?
Yeah, I almost said it's Are you ready? Dum dum dum. Break it down. DX entrance. I think that one is pretty good. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, of course.
Nice.
With the pyro, with the music, with the.
That was gonna be my entrance.
DX. I think that's a pretty
DX.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, DX.
Okay, so I have a question now.
I already picked which ones.
What?
Go ahead.
No, you said DX, right?
Yeah.
So does that cross off the New Age Outlaws?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say so. Because I specifically picked Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
All right, so for me, I'm gonna go. I have two that I really just want to hit, but I'm more worried about this one being taken by Cody. So I'm gonna go tag team. Super easy. We're gonna go with the best tag team of all time that originated the tag team in the main event. We're going with the Road Warriors.
Okay. I would not pick them, by the way.
Well then you're wrong. I refuse to be punished for knowing a lot more about wrestling history today.
Oh no, they're just not my favorite tag team. I'm going with my favorite tag team. I don't want to. I honestly did not think you were going to pick them either. I thought you were going to pick a certain team.
I wasn't going to pick RK Bro.
No. All right, so now I have to go. Oh, God,
I was between two teams on this, but I was worried that if I pick one of them, you guys wouldn't be as familiar with them.
Oh
God, this is so hard.
Oh,
because again, I'll reiterate again. We are not prepared for this at all. We've done no research. We are going to overlook a lot of great teams and matches and storylines. So this is going to be a rough one.
I want to go tag team first, but there's a couple tag teams, but God. I'm gonna go with my favorite tag team of all time. So this is gonna cross off a lot of matches, but I'm going the Hardy Boys.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I was prepared for that. Because now no more TLC match.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to pick.
That takes out my match.
I felt like that was gonna happen, so I was prepared for that. So,
well, can we really not do matches with the Hardy Boys now?
Nope. That's that's the rules.
We voted on it. You guys.
Damn, I didn't realize what far-reaching implications that was gonna have.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, what my thinking is like, TLC is usually it was usually 3 teams. So like, could we have picked them anyways? Because we're not. Are we just doing traditional tag team matches?
No, we can still pick those.
Okay.
Yeah, my match was going to be Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian versus Dudley's.
So I'm up again. So I'm going to do my match. This is probably the most recent match we're going to have on here.
Okay.
And it's from NXT.
Okay.
DIY versus Revival to a
No, you son of a bitch. No.
Is that the one you were going to pick?
No, my next one was going to be American Alpha versus the Revival.
God, you are missing one big tag team
I
match.
think honestly, I'm not even the last 15 years of wrestling. I've never seen a tag team match so good.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
The finish was super good in that match.
I'm thinking I might want to go promo here.
Promo. Well, I know who I'm picking for promo.
Because it's two of the greatest individual promos of all time. So I don't think there's any way I don't get this point. So we're going to go with the promo, and we're going to go with the Mega Powers.
Okay. That's pretty good. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
No, wait. Yeah. Never mind.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick match now so I can get those out the way. I don't know if you guys should have seen this match. I have. You guys should have. It's one of the best tag team matches of all time. Very unconventional teams, but great anyways. This was from 2002. No Mercy. Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle versus Edge and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, fuck. That kills me for promo because I'm going to pick Edge and Christian for promo. No, I can't.
Yep, and then for promo, actually, I think I'm going to be able to get this one for promo. So I'm going to pick storyline. Just double checking. Okay. And storyline, this one, I don't know if you guys... Well, storyline's hard.
Storyline is hard. I'm probably going to have to look
hard.
up all your storylines if I'm being completely honest. Just so
I still have to... Okay, I could go tag team in general. Man, oh man. I'm just thinking.
I know who I want for promo. I swear to God.
Yeah, my audio cut out for a second. I didn't know if anyone said anything.
No, he didn't say anything yet.
I'm just thinking. I was thinking Demolition, but that's probably a bad idea. that's probably...
For what?
Wasn't that?
You know what? I'm gonna go because I know the promo I'll probably still get. Because you guys probably want to say them. Same with storyline, because I don't even know if it's a good storyline in you guys' opinion. I just know it was a storyline, which was very interesting. I'm gonna go with the Steiners.
For what? For what?
Promo?
Tag team.
Oh, for tag team.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a decent pick.
Interesting pick. Very interesting.
I think it's.
All right.
I mean, like it's hard to pick, because so many overlap. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what I'm gonna pick now. I have an idea for storyline, but I'm not. But I kind of want to think of a match right now because matches where we're just killing like all the picks, and I'm not overly worried about the teams and my. Actually, you know what? Yes, I am. Yes, I am worried about my storyline being taken, so I'm just gonna do it. This is a fairly recent one, and I know that I'm gonna be overlooking a lot, but this is the most recent. This is just like for some reason the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that I at least thought was you can say what you want about one of these teams, but I thought this storyline was really, really good, and I loved this storyline. We're gonna go with the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I'll admit it. I have a question with tag team storylines. Does it have to be two tag teams feuding, or can the tag team partners feud?
What?
I think it's probably got to be two tag teams feuding.
Okay, because I was asking if the tag team partners are able to feud, if that's counted as a tag team feud.
So the only reason Eric's counts is because they actually did have a tag team match. It wasn't like because the Shield's 3 members, but they had to have official.
It was Cody and Goldust versus Roman and Seth. Or was it Ambrose and Seth?
No, it was Roman and Seth because
so I cannot do two tag team members feuding against each other.
No.
Okay.
At least I'd say no. What do you think, Cody?
I would say no. That's more of a singles feud.
Okay.
That was a single storyline.
Okay.
So I'm going. So I have 2 now. I'm going promo work. The reason I asked Dom was his first pick is because the Road Dogg was the voice of the DX. And
that's a good pick.
So New Age Outlaws for.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'll admit.
Now I'm struggling a lot with these storylines.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a good one for promo now for tag team. Oh, now I have a good one. Now I think about it.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, Now I think about it. Now that I think about it.
All right, I have a question. You guys can say no if I can't. But for entrance,
What about it?
can I pick the NWO?
That's not.
No, 'cause I was gonna pick them.
You have to pick out 2 people from those,
Okay.
and specifically they have to have.
Well, it would like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Technically, they're in the NWO, right?
Did they ever tag team that often though?
Okay, I won't pick it. It's fine. I'm trying to. Fuck.
I'm trying to think too.
Yeah, this is officially easily the toughest fantasy booking we've done so far.
Oh,
not
yeah.
even just fantasy drafts, but like when we're booking our storylines.
Fuck, I want an entrance, but it's 3 people too, and one of them's taken already, so never mind, I can't do it.
Who was that?
The Brood. I love the Brood.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Our entrance can only be 2 people too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't pick the NWO.
Yeah, okay. Damn it. Yeah, because I was gonna pick the NWO. Fuck.
It's so.
This is crazy.
This is definitely the hardest.
Shit. Oh. Yeah, because everything I'm thinking of is stables. Actually, these people were tag team champions together. So if they're in a stable, can I still pick them for an entrance if they're the tag team champions?
Well, who is it?
Evolution, Batista and Ric Flair.
I guess. If you're picking them for
Yeah. If you're only picking Batista and Ric Flair, I would say.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm going to take this off the board. Entrance, I'm going Brothers of Destruction.
Nice, you son of a bitch. I was going to do them too. That's a good. That's a really good pick.
Destruction.
I think it's a really good pick.
Not as good as DX in my opinion, but
All right, so is it my turn now?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just gonna knock out my match and then just think of entrances later. This is I'm so surprised that these guys. Actually, let me check who we've taken just to make sure I'm not like. Because I'm really surprised.
Just say the match.
We can double check. It's not
Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been taken
No.
from that. Let me just.
I haven't even watched the match, so no.
Oh no, that match is good. Okay.
That match was insane.
It was.
I think Meltzer gave it like 5.5 stars or something.
Wait, is that a tag team match or is that a 6-man?
Oh fuck! Let me check.
Pete Dunne was in that match too.
Let me check. Fuck! No.
I think that's a 6-man match.
Let me see.
I might have been actually tagged now that I think about it.
Let me see them. I'm looking up. I remember what show it was on.
Because I think
It was a
Trent. I think Trent 7 pulled the white flag and threw the white flag in the match. That might have been a 2-on-2.
Just let me look it up. So this it happened on episode. Yeah, I think it was just because I think it was just Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly against like Trent 7 and Tyler. Yeah, it was Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong against Trent 7 and Tyler Bate.
Okay.
Right?
All right then. That's my turn, right?
No, yeah. But let him talk about his thing first. We just
yeah.
So I just think that match is just. I mean, I feel bad. I honestly feel bad that Dom hasn't seen it because it's really, really good. I mean, Undisputed Era had a lot of great tag team matches, but this was probably the best as far as not 6-man or like not War Games, but as far as a 2-on-2 tag team match, this was probably Undisputed Era's best match in NXT. I think even it's one of the highest rated tag team matches of all time off the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Just if you haven't seen it, you just gotta watch it.
I still think my match is better, but I do agree that's a great match.
I mean, that's just how wrestling is. Sometimes some things I haven't seen. Like I know, like in my heart, I'm like, you know what? I really want to pick the Golden Lovers against the Young Bucks because I know that match was awesome. But I know Cody probably hasn't seen it, and I don't know if you have seen it, Eric.
I've seen that match actually.
Huh?
I've seen that match.
And it's great, amazing.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, he doesn't agree with me, so probably good choice. Good choice. I didn't pick that one. Okay. Storyline. I'll probably lose this one because we can't pick New Day versus Usos because it's more. That's a more. The Usos is 3 men. So I'm gonna pick a very unconventional one.
Technically, you can.
Can I?
It was 2-on-2. Oh, the storyline. Never mind.
Not tag team match.
I thought you said match. Okay, never mind. My bad.
So, this was a storyline for a little bit. You might pick it because of comedic purposes, which would be great with me. It's Christian and Jericho versus Lita and Trish Stratus storyline.
Interesting.
Because I wanted to come up with I really wanted to do Christian against Jericho storyline with the tag team, but you can't have the tag team partners feud. So, I mean, if you haven't watched
what was it again?
Technically, feud after
Christian and Jericho versus Lita and Trish Stratus, that feud.
Okay.
Yeah, Great Armageddon.
They technically do feud at the end of after WrestleMania.
Who?
But Christian and Jericho.
Yeah, that's why I said that's why I couldn't do that. And then for promo, that storyline probably won't get picked, which is fine. It happens. With the promo, I feel like I have 2 really good contenders. One is Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison in their prime. They had a whole talk show. They were gold on the mic if you haven't watched some of the stuff. And then someone who recently, which was Big Cass and Enzo Amore. You can say what you want about Enzo, but Enzo's a good ass promo. And you can't teach that. So
okay. So it's my turn.
I didn't even say anything.
Okay, sorry, my audio cut, so I just assumed that
I just
assumed you'd already
said
said
2 options that I'm thinking about.
Oh, who are you
okay.
picking?
I'm picking Miz and Morrison because they're my favorite tag team of all time, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Right.
You said Miz and Morrison, and then my audio cut for a little bit, so I just assumed that was
I'm picking
your
Miz
pick.
and Morrison for promo, which I'm really happy about, actually.
All right, so I have to pick. So I have to pick entrance. Fuck, I don't know what to do here.
Oh, there's a good one that I know, and you not picked Overseeing. Eric, if you don't pick,
I know, and this is we knew this would happen, that we're gonna
there's a
because
big one. No,
because we're pulling these out of our ass that we're.
There's a big one. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sure there is. You know what?
I'm gonna point it out afterwards.
You know who had a pretty good entrance, I think?
Ooh.
Ooh, there's a entrance that I'm thinking of that's like you guys would never think of it, but I love it.
I don't remember their music. That's the problem.
Oh, there's actually 2 I'm thinking of now.
That's one big one.
I'm thinking of picking Batista and Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
But actually, was Rey Mysterio already? Was Rey Mysterio in?
Yes, he was.
Okay, then I can't pick them. Fuck, of course not. Oh, and didn't someone pick Evolution?
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
I didn't.
He picked Undertaker and Kane instead.
Okay.
Which was?
Oh my god, there's 2 good ones that are like.
There's a really good one that I can think of.
I don't think me and Dom are thinking of the same thing.
I'm thinking of a better one.
This is so fucking.
How do you know? Yeah.
But I know. Oh, there's another good one. Oh, never mind. You can't pick that one.
I'm thinking of another one now.
There's a bunch of things.
It's easier when you're not on the spot.
I know.
I mean, you guys have 2 awesome entrances. I feel like no matter who I pick, I'm not going to get the point anyway. So,
the Hardy Boys would have been a good entrance too.
Hardy Boys would have been a great one. Fuck it, I'm not getting the point anyway. So we can just piss off Cody, and I'm just gonna say the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
All right, can I say who I was thinking? Tom, who are you thinking of?
Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero.
I was thinking of those.
I almost picked them for my entrance. Actually,
that's good. That's a good.
I was thinking of 3 really underrated ones.
Okay.
Brian Kendrick and Paul London. When they ran to the ring, I love their entrance.
Someone's okay.
Beer Money.
You actually know who. Yeah. The only reason I didn't pick Beer Money is I didn't think you. I knew Dom would know who they were. I didn't think you would know who.
No, I was a big TNA guy back in the day.
How the hell do you think that that Matt Riddle's better than Bobby Roode if you've seen him in
He
Beer
is.
Money. Oh my
And
god.
three was Motor City Machine Guns. I love their entrance.
Okay, you forgot Eminem. Sean Morrison was picked, but Eminem with
Yeah, so we can't pick them. So what's
still, just want to point out.
Actually, no, it was Johnny Nitro. It was Johnny Nitro.
Cody still needs to pick us. Cody needs to pick a storyline, and then we can vote.
All right, so I have a question. We're not just doing WWE, right? You can pick anything,
no.
right?
Any.
All right, so I'm gonna pick what I think is the best AEW storyline for tag team is the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
And for you to shit on them for so long.
I mean, I love the storyline. That was their best storyline, and probably
I lost storyline. I picked Christian and Jericho versus Lita and Trish.
I almost picked Kane and Daniel Bryan, but like
You can't.
that storyline was just way too long. It was just way too long.
And you have Brothers of Destruction.
Plus, it's an individual storyline. Like
it's Mass Kane though.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm good. I feel good about like 3 of them.
I feel really good.
I feel good about 3 of them, but that's it.
I don't feel good at all.
I feel good about 3 of them, and the other 2.
I punted one category completely when I chose the Road Warriors.
Yeah, you did.
No, honestly, I should have picked Kofi and CM Punk for tag team. To be honest,
Oh God!
they were tag team champions. So.
All right, so we're gonna vote next.
Oh, we forgot APA. That one. Oh shit.
They had a good entrance.
We're obviously we know that we overlooked a fuck ton of people.
All right, so can you guys
fucking Billy
tell me? Can you tell me your match? I'm gonna do it one by one so I just can get over.
Okay.
All right, what was your matches?
Oh, Chris Jericho and Benoit. No, Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle versus Edge and Ray.
And yours was Mustache Mountain.
And then I had Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain.
All right. Sorry, I'm writing down each by each. So tag team was Road Warriors versus Dom. What were you?
I had the Steiners.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be interesting.
You should have picked them for promo work.
For the math promo, yeah.
Entrance was.
Don't worry about it.
DX,
Good
right?
Brothers and DX.
Wonder who that point's going to.
At least I get 1 point.
His promo work was
Mega Powers and then Miz and Morrison.
Come on, Miz and Morrison's great, bro. Miz and Morrison. Don't if you disrespect the Kings. Oh.
And then storyline was
considering that the disrespect would be choosing that Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage were better than them on the mic.
Look at you! Okay, brother.
What was storyline?
Mine was the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield.
And I have Chris Jericho and Christian versus Lita and Trish Stratus. Hey, if you see that match, I mean,
I have my winner.
Yo, let me write mine down.
I need Eric. I need your picks.
My match was DIY versus Revival 203 Falls. Tag team the Hardy Boys. Entrance Kane and Undertaker. Promo work New Age Outlaws. In storyline Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks.
All right, so. And
wait, what was your storyline, Eric?
Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield.
Okay.
All right, so, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
I'll go first. I can go first.
Okay.
All right, so match. I went with Eric Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain. I thought that I watched that match like at least 12 times. It was so good.
Come on, disrespecting the classics over here.
Tag team. I went with the Road Warriors. Entrance. I went with DX.
That's highly debatable. If you've ever seen the Good Brothers enter a ring.
Wait, I'm missing a category.
When you see the Good Brothers enter a ring, don't you just want them to leave? And they're heels. That's what you want.
And
they're heels. They've got that. Get the fuck out of here. Never come back. Heat.
Eric, my bad. Eric, what was your mic's promo again?
Mega Powers.
Mega Powers. And Cody's, yours was
New Age Outlaws.
No.
You didn't know? So promo work, I gave it to the Mega Powers.
Fuck you.
I mean, Randy
Come
Savage
on.
just puts over the top for me. He was so good on the mic. Hulk was good, but like I just
Come on, Miz and Morrison.
Miz and Morrison were
Man.
good, but the end of
I mean,
their
they
tag, end of their run killed it.
But they weren't great. But at the same time, we're talking about 2 of the top 10 promos and
Miz is a top 10 promo of all time. Don't even start.
and Morrison's not.
And Morrison can hold his own. You need to stop too.
Okay, and then storyline, I gave it to Rhodes versus Shields. I think Eric knows what he was doing when he put a Shield storyline in there because I'm a sucker for the Shield.
Well, I didn't. That wasn't dumb. That was just a happy coincidence that Cody's a huge Shield fan. I did actually I did pick that because I legitimately did love the storyline.
So Eric wins 4-1 for me.
Whatever.
Eric.
All right, I'll go next. So, tag team Hardy Boys versus the Steiners. No disrespect to the Steiners, but it's the Hardy Boys. They're
no WCW love over
here.
here.
The Hardy Boys are a top 5 tag team of all time. DIY versus the Revival and Benoit and Cody with the power play. He knows I'm a huge Revival fan.
No appreciation for the classics. God.
That match was great, but again, that's like what Cody said with Undisputed Era and Mustache Mountain. I've watched DIY versus the Revival at least like
recency bias over here.
It's not even necessarily so much recency bias as much as
it was like 2016.
I loved the match. Entrance easy. DX has one of the best tag team entrances of all time.
I'm glad I got my first.
You can't beat it.
Everything else I didn't.
And then promo was kind of hard actually. Between New Age Outlaws and Miz and Morrison because Miz and Morrison are really good. But
have you seen the web show?
I personally can't think of any like off the top of my head, and I'm sure you guys might be able to, but at least for me, I can't think of like a really famous Miz and Morrison like quip off the top of my head as much as like New Age Outlaws and like, oh, you didn't know your ass better.
Have a catchphrase, so it would said if I would have picked Enzo, I would have won then, huh? Because you can't teach that. Is that what's
no?
Enzo is really good on the mic. I think I would have probably picked Enzo over.
What?
Yeah.
So I picked the New Age Outlaws, and then storyline Young Bucks versus Paige and Omega. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That match was great, but I don't remember much about. I don't remember the storyline really sticking with me. But either way, I feel the Lita and the Lita storyline.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
And you didn't like it.
Cody 4-1.
And you didn't like it. Whatever.
All right, Dom, comes down to you. Who wins?
I didn't even make my picks yet, so give me a second.
Oh, we both pissed Dom off.
You're supposed to pick before.
But I was writing it down.
It doesn't matter. We both pissed Dom off. I think I pissed him off.
But I'm not taking Kane.
Do we have Cody's first fantasy pick win?
Right now, I'm gonna get screwed again. Ring the bell! Ring the bell!
It had.
Okay.
All right, Dom, can you hurry up because I gotta get going.
I have my picks.
All right.
Okay.
Let know.
So Young Bucks versus Kenny and Adam versus Rhodes Brothers and Shield. I picked the Young Bucks and Adam Page and Kenny because they had an amazing match. Their setup was really good. The Rhodes stuff and Shield was good, wasn't as good. And the thing about this storyline that Cody picked is still kind of continuing on. So we don't even know the conclusion of it technically.
I'm not asking this sarcastically. It's because I don't. It's because I don't remember what was the storyline.
Well, Omega and Young Bucks have been friends for years, and Adam Page was like this alcoholic drunk that that he didn't think that Omega. It was kind of like, oh, whose back are you gonna have during this match? So it was a really it was very good storytelling in the match as well. Okay. So it kind of plays a really big part.
First of all, Kenny didn't want, like when the company started, he said, "Oh, I don't want to go for the top title because that's what he expected me. I want to try the tag team division. So I want to do it with my elite member Adam Page." And they started doing that, and they were tag team champions. And then the Young Bucks, I believe they won, or either the Revival or somebody. And they're like, "Oh." Kenny's like, I'm done with this, I want to move on to other things. And Adam Page was trying to find himself through that, and then the Young Bucks kind of put them down. but then Kenny turned heel. I think it's all good. After that, the power something, the combined powers,
the mega powers,
the mega powers. See, against the New Age Outlaws. Neither of them stand out to me, honestly, but New Age Outlaws, I guess.
You didn't know?
I guess.
Hold on. Explain yourself.
All right. I gotta get going in like 5 minutes, so we gotta hurry.
That's okay. That's garbage, but okay.
I mean, I disagree with your opinion. You can disagree with mine. That's fine. Kane versus Undertaker versus Good Brothers. Kane and Undertaker. I just.
Oh, it's you honestly
Listen. The thing about Kane and Undertaker, when I think of the entrance, I think of the entrance of 2001. And the Survivor Season, and they just walk together in unison, and I'm like, and then the Good Brothers. I mean, the Good Brothers have the whole thing. I'm picking the Good Brothers.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Undertaker and Kane. Did they have any special music combined?
Yeah, it goes Undertaker.
I don't know.
All right, keep going.
You already picked.
Road Warriors against Hardy Boys. And then DIY versus the Revival. That's the one I have seen. The other one I haven't. So Cody wins 4-1.
The Hardy Boys over the Road Warriors.
Yes, just like the Hardy Boys over the Steiner Brothers. So there you go. Cody, calm down. I still have 2 wins over mine.
No, the women's one doesn't count because you guys. I didn't realize how little you guys knew about women's wrestling.
I didn't
before
know
2005.
how little you guys. I appreciate talk shows. So there we go. I mean, my tag team was the only one to have a talk show together. You guys didn't. And apparently,
all right. We can argue about this after the show. This has been WrestlePoint. I gotta get going, but we will see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Dynamite and me to reign my championship for the second straight.
You only won once, and now he thinks he's the top guy. Get out of here.